Why would Puma change the name of a boot that hasn't changed at all? Who knows? Let's find out. What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Puma Future 1.2, the Puma Future Z 1.2 to be exact. It is a boot that I thought was actually really fantastic a couple months ago. I reviewed the Puma Future Z 1.1 about 4 months ago now, and they have come out with a quote-unquote new version. It's actually completely the same boot except for a little bit of texturing and graphic on the outside. That is the only thing that has changed. But what has changed is the size that I got. So in the previous video, if you haven't checked that out, go watch that one first and then come back to this one. And the fit and the sizing was a little bit long. I felt like it fit about a quarter size too long for me. And so I actually went with an 8.5 US in the 1.2. They fit the same, they're the same boot. So I figured why not go down half a size and actually see how it fit and feel. I'm very curious to know if going down half a size is the proper way to go if you want the best possible snug fit to your feet. I am a player who likes my boots right up against my toes because I want to have the most seamless sensation on my feet. So without further ado, guys, let's hop into the unboxing. Right on. So as I mentioned before, this is the 8.5 US in the Future Z. They come in the very standard Puma red box. There is nothing special about these. This is the only box they offer other than maybe special edition ones. But let's hop into the unboxing. I am super stoked. Online, these boots look really incredible, and I love the blue color. I think it pops. It's really rich and gorgeous looking. So let's see. They call it the Blue Mazing, Sunblaze, and Surf Web. So that's like the three different colors. Blue Mazing. That's the same Blue Mazing that you guys saw on the Puma Ultra 1.3 review that I did a couple weeks ago. So let's do this unboxing. Here we go, guys. This is very exciting. So here is the box again. Very simple Puma logo, red box, white logo. And we'll open these up. Oh, yes. Wow. Okay, holy moly, guys. So this is the Puma Ultra, excuse me, not the Puma Ultra, the Puma Future Z 1.2. Does have a little bit of a different texturing to it, but it is the same overall construction. These look gorgeous. Have a closer look at these, guys. Wow. So it's got that Future logo right on the inside in white outlined here, and then the Fusion Fit Plus band across the midfoot, and then of course the EvoKnit Pro and Grip Control Pro for the rest of the upper with that little bit of a collar. I'll keep twisting around. So it's that Blue Mazing color, which on the Puma Ultra I didn't think looked anything special, but if this is what they're calling Blue Mazing, this is a spectacular looking color for a boot. I think it really pops with that sort of metallic-y sheen on it, and it is really fantastic. So again, the exact same type of boot. It's the same thing except for the texturing on the outside and a little bit of a different look for the graphic as well, with these red lines coming in the back. So that is what that looks like. We'll open it up, and in typical Puma fashion, there is no string bag. It's just the two boots. So let's get this box out of the way and show you guys what they look like. So here we are. Puma Future Z 1.2. Now, does it warrant the name? Not really. They could have called it a 1.1, but like the revamped version, I don't think it deserves a completely different name. It's still a Puma Future, so in that case, like, I appreciate that Puma did this as opposed to having the exact same boot. Like the Puma Ultra from the 1.1 to the 1.2 doesn't really need a name change, but from the 1.2 to 1.3, that was deserving of a name change because it's a completely different boot. But for this one, same Puma Future Z, and I'll get these little cardboard things out of here so I can show you guys how soft they are. It's got the same insole as the Puma Ultra, so it's that really wonderful nano grip technology that they have. It's like a silvery look to it. I'll show you guys in just a sec if I can get this out. There you go. So that's what that looks like. It's kind of a silvery sheen to it, and it actually is really grippy. It does the job really, really well. So we'll go like this, and we will show you what the softness looks like. So it is pretty soft, but you can tell right away that this toe box and the rest of the area that's not that Fusion Fit Plus band around the midfoot is a really nice padded feeling. So if you go all the way on the inside, so I'm sticking my fingers all the way up into the front of this boot, it's got significant padding on the inside of that toe box. So right here where my palm is, right along that inside, there's significant padding that's going to offer a really nice touch on the ball, a really seamless and padded sensation on your feet. Again, there is a really unique lacing system that happens in the Puma Future Z, where you've got 2 or 3 lace holes right up here towards the ankle, and then it has a huge gap where this Fusion Fit Plus band is, and then it's got several lace holes towards the front of the toe box, right before, I guess, your toes would start, and that gives it good lockdown here and here. And then of course the Fusion Fit Plus band, the way that are marketing it, and I think they have actually done a really interesting thing here that I think is phenomenal. What this Fusion Fit Plus band allows is that anybody with thin or with a wider fitting foot can actually fit in these boots, because this Fusion Fit Plus band gets put and stretches to the foot. It's much more see if you can see that, my thumb coming up through. Let's go to the side. There you go. So now you can really see how stretchy that material is. And what it does is it allows the band to wrap your foot in a way that isn't too snug, which I think is a really rare thing. Usually when you get material like this, when it's got a grip control type or an ACC from Nike or something on the top of a knit, it takes a little while to break in, but this material is actually really fantastic for just a really seamless, you slide right in and it grips your foot really nicely straight out of the box, which I think is a really unique thing for this type of boot. It's 7.6, 7.5 ounces, so it's not quite speed boot, but it is for a control boot. It is really light, actually. I think they feel pretty standard. Again, you know my philosophy on weight in boots. It really doesn't matter that much. I think the most important thing is to find a boot that fits your foot the best, and then you can go from there and find the boot that you like the most, whether it be sole plate, upper material, whatever. The sole plate is exactly the same, so they've got that dynamic motion system sort of front thing right here that sort of comes out of the Vapor 14. Obviously this released before the 14, so maybe you could say that the 14 copied this one, but it comes sort of in a Z. This is where you see that Z motion or that Z pattern, and it is something that I think is really nice. I don't really particularly love split soles. I think something with some sort of base ridge or ribbing really holds your foot in that locked position so that you can really get good snapback with a sole plate that doesn't have something like a Carbitex insole in it. So that's something to think about as well. I think it's really great that you can get all sorts of different types of sole plates, this being a FGAG, which they market it as because it does have mostly conical-ish studs, so it's like conical but with a flat side almost. There's no chevron studs unless you count this center one as a chevron, but it's more of a moon, like a crescent moon shape basically. And so that is something to think about as well. So this is a boot that's marketed towards control people and dribbling. Obviously Neymar is sort of the head honcho guy for this particular boot. I think this color looks amazing. I think the boot is a fantastic idea. I'm not actually sure. This is one of the boots that I bought for the potential to actually wear in training and games as I get closer and closer to that contract in the next couple months and get back into full fitness from the injury that I had. But again, we will take this out on the pitch or in my backyard, more like. It is a pitch, it's grass, it's beautiful. But take it out into my backyard, play around with it a little bit in the on-feet portion of this video, and really decide whether it is a boot that I'm going to consider for a long-term use and to have this as my playing boot. I've got a few others coming as well, other reviews first of all, but other boots that I'm also trying out just to see which ones that I really really like and want to keep. The Future is one of them. The Ultra I did try, that was a potential candidate, and that is not one that I will be using. It's too thin and it's not exactly what I'm looking for. If I want a speed boot, I absolutely love the Speedflow 0.1, so that boot will probably, I'm 99% sure that that boot is going to be a part of the system or the series of boots that I do have. But the Future is really intriguing to me because I do really love the idea, and the boots that this Future replaced, so some of the things like the Power Cat and some of these older Puma boots that were kind of built on this idea of control and nice grip on the ball and really nice fit and feel, I've actually really loved. So the Evo Power 1.3s, I think I had a couple pairs of, and those were amazing. Loved those. Those were wide enough for my feet as well. So these are definitely a great proposition. I think, if nothing else, this is one of the best, I think this is the best colorway of the Future that's been released so far. I think these look incredible. Red, white, and blue looks amazing. Yes, I'm from the United States, so you can say it's patriotic and whatever, but I think these just look incredible. So let's hop into the on-feet portion of the video, and I will tell you guys and decide kind of on the spot whether or not these boots are going to be correct for me and right for the playing style and the type of fit that I'm looking for as I jump into back into more serious training. All right, fam, so I've got the Puma Future Z 1.2, again in the 8.5. I went half a size down just to see if it would fit. Haven't tried these on yet, so I've got them unlaced, ready to go, and I'm really excited to see how these fit and feel because the size 9 was a fantastic fit. I loved the shoe, but it was too long, and that's something that I really struggle with. I'm not interested in playing in boots that are even a little bit too long. I want my toe to be right up against the end of the shoe. So that is something to think about. If that's something you're into, I would go true to size if you want a little bit extra room. If you don't, stay tuned in about 10 seconds and we'll find out whether these are going to be a good fit for my feet. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, my toe comes right up to the end, and I would say these are a perfect fit for me. I do have pretty wide and pretty stubby toes, so what that means is I don't have a lot of point. My toes are almost identical like this, like they're almost flat like this, so that's something to keep in mind. I kind of have to crunch into certain boots, but I'd say lengthwise, these are really, really spectacular. They fit really nicely. And I think an 8.5 for me for the Puma Future Z right away without really tying the laces tight would definitely be the size that I would go for. Sorry, it's really warm out here. It's probably like 85 degrees, so sweating a little bit. I'm gonna tie the laces tight. Obviously they've got that really unique lacing system through the midfoot that allows that band in the middle to really stretch to your foot and allow for that midfoot to feel really nice and really locked in without feeling annoyingly tight. And especially for me who's super wide-footed in that area, it's really a refreshing thing to have a pair of boots that doesn't give you sort of a really tight sensation right in the midfoot. So right away, once you have the laces tight, guys, these are fantastic. I love the way these feel. The way that I don't know what Puma, the Evo Knit, I think it's called, their Evo Knit upper. See if they have it. Yeah, Evo Knit Pro. Yeah, so their Evo Knit Pro collar that's not super tall. It's nothing like a Magista Obra 1 or a Predator Freak Plus, anything like that, or even a Predator Freak 0.1. This collar just kind of hugs the bottom side of your ankle really nicely, creates a really seamless sensation. And I mean, these are super comfortable boots. I definitely understand why players like Neymar and others would actually wear something like this. Obviously, yes, he's sponsored. He's probably paid millions of dollars a year to wear these, but they are really nice and comfortable, and they are keeping my midfoot really locked in without it feeling super squeezy. So this is actually going to be a really difficult decision whether or not I'm going to actually use these in my rotation. I think these are a fantastic pair of football boots for anybody who's not super excessively wide feet. Like if you've got wider feet than me, first of all, I'm really sorry because I have the widest feet I've ever seen in my life. And if you have wider feet than me, I apologize just in general because I'm sure that really sucks to have to deal with, especially with football boots. But if you don't have super wide feet, if you've got my size feet and or a little bit less, anything to a skinny skinny foot, I think these will fit you really, really well. I genuinely think going half a size down might be the best possible thing if you find that you don't want too much room in that toe box. I want my foot right up against the end of the boot because my feet aren't growing anymore, obviously. So I want something that's going to be incredibly snug, incredibly tight, even after I break it in. And this is definitely doing that. So, I mean, they definitely have really nice traction. I love the way that these conical studs allow you to move and allow you to spin and turn. I don't want to destroy the grass in my house, but yeah, it's awesome. I really like the way that the sole plate works. It definitely feels like it gives you some flexibility without being too malleable, which is awesome. A little bit of spring, and I love the lockdown in the heel. The lockdown in the heel is actually one of the best that I've seen in my most recent reviews. I really like the way the heel feels, and that will be awesome for those of you who struggle with blisters in your heel. You can avoid those, especially in these. If you get the exact right fit you need, they'll stay in your heel without any blisters at all. And at least in my opinion, I think these will be awesome. So this Evo Knit upper is awesome. The band in the middle that they call the Fusion Fit Plus band is really lovely. I love the way the laces act as a support system without being too tied super tight, so that's something to keep in mind as well. And again, I went half a size down. I'm usually a US 9, I went US 8.5, and the fit and the length is perfect. So that's what I would do if I'm going to keep these. I would continue with an 8.5 moving forward. So I would rate these a 7.75 out of 10. So they're pretty high. They're 7.5 out of 10. So these are a 7.5 for me, which is a very good rating. That's a very, very solid rating. I think these are a great pair of football boots. Again, unsure if I'm actually going to wear these in my rotation. I think I might just have a pair of speed boots and then a pair of boots like a Predator or something like that that I know that I love and I fit well in. But these are fantastic, guys. And Puma Future Z 1.2 and 1.1, if you can get your hands on those for a lower price. They're the same shoe, so just keep that in mind. If you do want the new colorway, fantastic. These are gorgeous. I love the way these look. However, if you don't want that and you want something a little cheaper, but you want these boots, the 1.1 is the same boot. It's just got a little bit of different texturing on the outside, on the upper. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you loved this video, hit that like button, and if you enjoy the content that I produce, hit that subscribe button. It's really helpful for me as I move forward in this YouTube career, and I can produce lots and lots more videos on boots and day in the life stuff as well. As always, guys, be awesome, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.